The Amazing Race season finale is this Wednesday right here on CBS, so let's recap everything that happened this past week. So first off, the teams traveled to the Dominican Republic, which
beautiful.
I believe Phil said was another first for the show.
Yeah, it was Barbados and Dominican Republic this season.
Yeah, I like seeing that when they go somewhere they've never been because the show's been around for so long that it's crazy that there's like
it was
still
beautiful,
options.
beautiful country.
Yeah, these very beachy tropical areas that we go into. I'm like, maybe that's my next vacation. It looks very nice. So anyway, this first roadblock is called Who Can See the Writing on the Wall? Okay. This looked kind of hard, but also fun because of all those kind of natural little slides you take through the waterfalls. Yeah. But explain how this worked.
So basically, it was one, each of them had to go through, I'd call it a waterfall maze.
Yeah.
And not really a maze, you can't really get lost, it's one path. Sure. But along there was, I think, like 10 rocks with symbols that you had to watch for. And did they have to put them in the correct order? It didn't seem like there was a specific order.
No, it just
seemed like they had to write the,
yeah.
And so basically you had to be very detail oriented because there was a small detail. And so the rocks they had to line up, you had to put them on the right way and with the right detail. It was very
What
very
I found interesting about it too was that it was kind of like all the teams were kind of helping each other out in a weird way, which was funny because we haven't really seen that this season. But they were all. This was one where it definitely was like the great equalizer. Like,
yeah, they were all
they were all struggling, and everyone was. Even Ricky and Cesar were like, "What in the world?" We're so.
And they were the first ones there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Ricky Cesar, get in the back of the pack finally, maybe."
I know, so it's kind of interesting. And then the way this episode worked was kind of odd too. There was no detours; it was just roadblocks and route info. So then they get a route info, then they go to this kind of like local baseball field, if you will, and it was called.
I don't remember the guy's name, but he played NFL here in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the players seem to know him. Yeah. I don't watch baseball, so I
didn't recognize him either, but it was called Who Wants to Play Ball. So essentially, they just had to go out there, and one half of the team had to go out there and basically do 3 different kind of baseball plays on the field.
They had to catch a pop fly. They had to throw to first base, which I found interesting. Rod struggled with that.
Right? You would think that you just soar through that.
And then they had to hit basically what they call it, street ball, where it was like basically you had a broomstick and you had to hit it like a hockey puck size. That would have been hard to see at.
That would have been hard, yeah. So then after this challenge, they have another route info, and then they finally go to the pit stop for this episode. So the placements were Ricky and Cesar get first
Shocking.
once again. I almost am like, they haven't acknowledged it yet, but I'm almost like, we should look this up before next time. I'm like, they had to have set a record for the most amount of first place wins or something. Like, it's been so
Wouldn't
many.
surprise me. I mean, I think out of all these legs, I think they got 2 or 3 second places, and the rest have been first.
It was insane. It was actually insane. And then second was
Rod and Letitia.
Yep, and then Juan and Shane behind them.
And then Amber and Vinny.
And then Amber and Vinny, and then you had Yvonne and Melissa who came in last place.
I was really rooting for Amber and Vinny to get out. They're so toxic, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think they have a shot at winning. But it was kind of sad to see Yvonne and Melissa go. And I say this because they've kind of been, I would say, more in the background of the season. They haven't really been key players, if you will.
Yeah. I saw they stuck middle of the pack.
Yes.
They set like a record for being the most consistent in the middle, I saw.
Yes. And what made me sad about it, though, is like, they really have done this whole race on their own. Like, they never really had allies, it seemed like, and they were like very... their communication was very good. Like, they were a strong team together. It was just there was people that were obviously stronger.
Yeah, well, and they said that this was like a foundation to see how they would do with the family. So, and then I loved at the end of the episode, they gave us a little update that they had a baby.
Yes,
and it was so cute.
Since the show ended, which was really cute. But there was something interesting you found online too, so I want you to share.
So I was reading one of their exit interviews with some outlet, and they said that they were only 2 minutes from Amber and Vinny, and that at the end of the waterfall roadblock, when they were getting ready to leave, one of the production crew hurt his hip, and they had to wait for a bit. So I think if that wouldn't have been a play, they would not have gotten last.
Interesting.
And that honestly plays back almost how Danny and Angie had that production problem as well, because that was more production's fault that came out. And so it's like, production, what you doing this season?
Yeah, I know, and I hope that they kind of get their stuff together for the next. I mean, this season was filmed a while ago at this point.
Yeah, it was. But I didn't realize it was pandemic
like
time still that they shot this.
Yeah, and so I hope that with all these kind of production mishaps, if you will, that they kind of work on that for the next season, because I think fans are kind of upset about it as well.
Right, maybe we'll see them again in Angie and Danny racing again.
Maybe so, yeah. But I did talk to the team. The ladies were so lovely. They had their baby, I believe her name is Rose, with them in the interview. It was really cute. They did joke a lot about having the invisible edit all season and people not really getting to know them.
I agree with that. I felt like we didn't really get much from them in the first half until later on when it was smaller numbers.
Yeah, but they had a very positive attitude about it. They loved being on the show together, they said, and they definitely would return in the future if the opportunity
Well, hopefully we'll see them.
And they're like, when their daughter's 18, they want her to go on the show, which I thought was funny as well.
That would be cute. Maybe if she went with one of her moms or
I know,
something.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. The Amazing Race season finale this Wednesday right here on CBS, and also streaming on Paramount+.